Go.
All right, gamers, welcome back. I've got our functional nutrition therapist in the house with us today. Andrew's going to be talking to us about healthy fats for energy and how it impacts your ability to create results in your business. So stick around. We'll be back in 20 seconds. All right, gamers, welcome to training day 37 of our first season together inside of the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. My name is Chris Allen-White. I am the game master. I've got our functional nutrition therapist here with us today, Andrea. And by now you know that we are here because we are passionate about disrupting your thinking. Why do we want to do that? Because we have a sincere desire to empower you to live outside of your phone booth so that you can share your extraordinary with the world. Now, what the heck does living outside your phone booth have to do with anything? Well, just ask yourself the question. What would have happened had this guy behind me, Superman, never gotten out of the phone booth? Andrea, what would have happened?
Not much.
The correct answer is actually nothing. Not even not much. Nothing would have happened. And gamers, that's why living outside your phone booth every day is priority number one. So if you're ready, I know I'm ready. Andrea, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Game on. All right, gamers. So again, welcome back. This is part 3 inside of our series on how to optimize energy levels through nutrition. And so this week we're talking about fats. And so, Andrea, why do you think people are so afraid of fats? And can fat really give us energy?
Okay, awesome question, and that's a great place to jump in. So just as a quick reminder, if you've missed any of the past episodes on how to create optimal energy through nutrition, you can go back and check out any of the past shows from the last 3 Wednesdays now, where we set the foundation of a whole food, real food diet. We covered protein and carbohydrates pretty extensively. So go back, check those out, because this week it's all about fat. So as a reminder, the macronutrients are the building blocks from which we create optimal energy through nutrition. And fats are the third and final macronutrient left to discuss. So let's talk about it. So to answer your first question, why are people still afraid of fat, right? So I believe that people sometimes fear what they don't fully understand. So in general, just make it a habit to really understand that which you fear, and you may no longer fear it. So that applies across the board to a lot of different things, right?
Yeah, I like it.
So in the case of fat and how it can work to give us energy, I have to get a little Bill Nye the Science Guy on you for a minute. Are you okay with that?
Down with it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Give me some Bill Nye.
Okay.
I'm ready. Hold on. Let me get ready.
Oh, Zen moment.
I'm ready.
Okay. So the first thing that you need to know about fats is that they're a mixture of either saturated, mono unsaturated, or polyunsaturated fatty acids. So these names refer to how many hydrogen atoms the fatty acid is lacking, if any, and then also how many double bonds between the carbon atoms the fatty acid has. So saturated fats are going to have the maximum number of hydrogen atoms possible and no double bonds, okay? Most stable.
Most stable.
Mono unsaturated fat are going to lack 2 hydrogen atoms and they have 1 double bond. That's why they're called mono unsaturated. And then we've got polyunsaturated fats, and those lack 4 or more hydrogen atoms, and then they have 2 or more double bonds. Okay, so they're the least stable. So that's why this matters, right? That's why we have to go Bill Nye for a second, is because saturation influences stability, and all fats become spoiled and rancid when exposed to oxygen. So oxidation is basically the process of a substance combining with oxygen. And in the case of fats, they become rancid, all right? So polyunsaturated fats spoil the most easily because their double bonds are unstable. So monounsaturated fats are the next most susceptible to oxidation, and then saturated fats are the most resistant to oxidation, and so the least likely to become rancid. So oxidation can also produce free radicals, right? And free radicals are highly unstable and reactive molecules. They behave like molecular radiation essentially in our bodies. They burn up everything that they come into contact with, and they just wreak havoc on your body. All right. So oxidation, rancidity, and free radicals are going to be energy stealers, along with many other issues like inflammation.
You make it? Need some water?
Yeah.
Time out, everyone. Let me take over from here.
I'm just getting going.
Saturated fats.
My Bill Nye thing.
Saturated fats
I
are
need
the
to
most
remember
stable.
to breathe. Hold on a second.
All right.
Hydrate or die. That's our motto, right?
It is.
Okay.
Back in the game. All right.
So essentially what I was saying, that inflammation can really cause a lot of damage on the cellular level. So that's why we have to really set that biochemical foundation of saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated fats, so we can talk about which fats are going to give us energy to fuel our bodies and which fats steal our energy and wreak havoc on our bodies.
All right, cool. So let's go there. Tell us specifically which fats then are going to give us the energy that you're talking about, and then after you share that with us, tell us which fats we should stay away from that are gonna, deplete that energy from our bodies.
Yeah. So let's talk about each category of fats a little bit more. So we have the saturated fats first. So animal fats and tropical fats, tropical oils are primarily made up of saturated fatty acids. So the tropical oils would be things like coconut oil and palm oil. And then the animal fats, think butter, think beef tallow, duck fat, ghee, things like that. And is everyone familiar with ghee? Should I talk about ghee for a quick second?
Ghee, yeah. What's ghee?
Okay, ghee. So ghee is, it's essentially clarified butter. All right, so the dairy proteins have been removed. So it's free of casein, which is the protein regularly found in butter, and lactose, which is the sugar or the carbohydrate that's found in butter. So it's suitable for most everyone on a dairy-free diet. So that's ghee. And then we have full-fat dairy products. So, then beef and lamb, egg yolks, those are all saturated fats, all healthy and beneficial to the body.
Okay, awesome. So what I'm hearing you say then is that these saturated fats, the saturated are the healthy fats, right? And a good source of energy. Am I following you so far?
Yes, and you didn't even have to write it down. Wow.
Saturated fats, everyone, are the healthy fats. And if you're looking for energy, go to the saturated fats. Are any saturated fats, we go maybe peel another layer of the onion back, any of these saturated fats better than others?
Okay. So all the fats that I mentioned are great choices. They'd be all good things to include in your diet. But what I will say is that coconut oil is really a superfood fat. And the reason for that is because it's a medium chain fatty acid. All right. So medium chain triglycerides, or they're also called MCTs. Probably heard that out there. They're unique because they're metabolized differently than short and long chain fatty acids. So they don't require bile for digestion. They pass directly to the liver via the portal vein. So coconut oil can be used quickly and immediately for energy, which is why it makes it such a great pre-workout fat. MCTs like coconut oil, they also promote weight loss because they have a lower calorie content than other fats, and they're not stored in the fat deposits like other fats are. So in fact, they actually enhance your fat burning potential. through something called thermogenesis, which is the generation of heat. And so not only are they helpful, these MCTs, for energy, but if weight management is something that is also important to you, they're helpful for that as well.
Okay, awesome. So you've talked a lot about foods that are primarily made of saturated fats and how good those can be for us, right? So we've gone there. What about the other types that you mentioned? I believe it was the monounsaturated, and the polyunsaturated fats. Did I get those right?
Yeah.
Those are the other two?
Yeah, good job.
Are any of those good for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of monounsaturated fats that are really good for you. Things like olives and olive oil, avocados, avocado oil, macadamia nuts, macadamia oil, almonds, all those things are great. But, going back to the biochemistry one more time, these fats aren't going to be stable enough for heating or for cooking. So only the saturated fats are suitable for heating and cooking safely. Because of that oxidation and rancidity and free radicals again. But if necessary, olive oil can be heated. Just make sure that's at a low heat.
Okay, so that's the monounsaturated fats. So the only category of fats you haven't talked about yet, I believe, are the polyunsaturated fats. Can you take us through that? What do we need to know about polyunsaturated fats?
Yeah, so for the most part, polyunsaturated fats are industrial seed oils. So things like soybean oil, peanut oil, corn oil, safflower oil, wheat germ oil, not as common, canola oil, super common, safflower oil, cottonseed oil. Cotton's not even a food, not really sure why that's an oil. Grapeseed, rice bran, margarine, these are all industrial seed oils. And the problem with these fats is that they utilize high heat techniques for extracting and processing the oils that often cause oxidation and rancidity before they even get to you. So on the grocery store shelf, they're already rancid and oxidized. So remember that these fats by nature, they're unstable because they're missing those hydrogen atoms, multiple hydrogen atoms, and also have those double carbon bonds. So one way that manufacturers protect against rancidity is through a process called hydrogenation. Have you ever heard of hydrogenation?
What'd you call me?
Okay, let me explain that. Hydrogenation takes these stable, unstable, polyunsaturated fats, so like corn, soy, cottonseed, canola. So they're normally liquid at room temperature, but what it does through this chemical process is it turns it into a solid at room temperature. So think vegetable shortening, think margarine. And the benefit to the manufacturer, of course, is that it extends the shelf life, right? So they can keep it on the shelf longer. But these rancid, oxidized fats that have been chemically changed during the hydrogenation process, these are not good for you and for your body. Certainly not for your energy levels. So, and neither are the artificial trans fats that are created in the process. And just a quick side note, if I could for a second, about trans fats. I think by now we've all heard that trans fats are bad for us. I think that pretty much everyone knows that. But don't be fooled by labeling. The FDA's regulation for nutrition labeling of trans fats states that if the total fat in a food is less than 0.5 grams per serving, and no claims are made about fat or fatty acids or cholesterol content, then trans fat does not even have to be listed on the label. So a good example of hydrogenation is commercial peanut butters, all right? So look at the ingredients on a label of like Jif peanut butter, and you'll find fully hydrogenated vegetable oils from rapeseed, which is actually canola, and soybean. So in some, just stay away from anything hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated, or containing any artificial trans fats.
Okay, got it. So if we were just to sum up in a layman's terms what I just heard over the last bit about polyunsaturated fats, the sum would be if it's polyunsaturated, it's a no-go. stay away from it. Is that right?
Well, that's not necessarily true because there are some polyunsaturated fats that are actually very helpful for you. So things like flaxseed oil and walnut oil, these are fine. These are beneficial to your health. Just be sure not to heat them because of everything that we've already talked about. And then also omega-3 fatty acids, I can't forget those. They're part of the polyunsaturated family of fats, and this family includes EPA, DHA, ALA. These are, all really important for reducing inflammation, for cardiovascular function, for enhancing cognitive function. So many benefits of omega-3s, and so those are a big yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for that clarification. So we've talked about saturated fats. We've talked about unsaturated fats. We've talked about unsaturated fats. Mm-hmm. What's the most important thing that we should remember when it comes to fats?
Okay. So let's see. Healthy fats are wonderful. They're beneficial. They're life-giving. They're energy-providing nutrients. So don't be afraid to eat them, I guess would be my first thing. And then just remember to use saturated fats for cooking, monounsaturated fats for flavoring, for dressing, and then avoid the packaged processed foods with a hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated, or artificial trans fats. And coconut oil, superfood fat, use it. Use it liberally for energy and for increased weight loss.
Awesome. There you go, gamers. That's everything you need to know about fats to put your business in a place to help you really get those energy levels you're looking for so you can go out there and crush out big results. So, hey, let's give Andrea a hand for her fourth appearance. Is this number 4?
I think so.
Part 4 here on camera with us today. She's getting good, right? Let's give her a hand. Slow clap. Right, all the golfers out there. Go ahead and put your love below the video. Leave your comments. Ask your questions about fats and macronutrients. Andrea will get those answers to you. Got an exciting announcement before we close out today. We are actually taking our team of real estate investors to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico tomorrow. So we're going to be coming to you from the airport. We'll have a 6-day adventure. We'll take you along the adventure with us here inside the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. So make sure you're around with us tomorrow and through the next 6 days. And then we'll be back next week for part 5 with Andrea, who will continue to talk to us about how to optimize our energy levels as entrepreneurs so we can create maximum results inside of our business. On that note, my friends, like the video, share the video with someone who can benefit from it, and we'll see you back here tomorrow inside of the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. Until then, go out there today, be extraordinary in your thinking. Bye for now.
Bye.
Good job. Crushed it.
Thank you.
Made it happen.
Thanks for listening to the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. And remember, gamers, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So get out of your phone booth and go share your extraordinary with the world.